Welcome back to my channel, and this video I'll be giving my own review of the recently concluded draw of the BWF World Tour Finals, scheduled to be starting today, 7th December, 6th December, tomorrow. It's actually tomorrow. Yeah. So this is actually the biggest tournament of the year, right? As you can see, it is giving 12,000 points in terms of ranking points for the winners, and this is, I think, the highest, the top tier, one of the top tier tournaments as a 1,000 tournament. So you can also see that it is also the most lucrative, totaling prize money totaling of 1.5 million US dollars, and these are the breakdowns for each of the category. So without further ado, let's take a look. We'll start off with the women's singles category, and as you can see, the one at the left is Group A, the one to the right is Group B. If you look at Group A, just my personal opinion, women's singles has always been a rather open kind of competition. You can see a few probabilities, a few probable finalists. Throughout the year, you can see the more consistent ones would be Chen Yufei, which is why I think in Group A, I think Chen Yufei should be able to qualify alongside perhaps Kane Yamaguchi. Yeah, my pick for Group A would be Chen Yufei and Akane Yamaguchi, but that doesn't mean that they are clear favorites to advance. Simply because, as I mentioned to you, for the women's singles category, it has always been a very closely fought category. Okay, I'm not surprised if An Se-yong might be able to squeeze through. And I'm also not surprised if Gregoria Mariska Tunjung can also create upsets. As far as I can remember correctly, if I'm not wrong, Gregoria Mariska Tunjung has been able to upset Yamaguchi before, if I'm not wrong, for 2 times this year. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, please comment down below. Yeah, for Group A, my pick would be Chen Yufei, simply because she's in many finals this year, but she only managed to capture one of the titles. So that shows how consistent is she. Yamaguchi would be our defending world champion. Yeah, so, but her form has not been great of late, so that could be a crucial deciding factor, right? And that is where perhaps the slightly longer rested An Se-yong, who missed the European tour, but then joined and conquered the Australian Open. So I believe she should be brimming with confidence. So it will be very interesting to see. But my pick would still be Chen Yufei and Akane Yamaguchi from Group A. For Group B, I would say it is not as competitive as Group A, but it will still be a very interesting. There will still be some very interesting dynamics in Group B. But I would say that the strong favorite would be Tai Zuying and He Bingjiao. Now, Busanan has not been that outstanding throughout the year. She seems to have a little bit of a struggle against the top-ranked players. So I think out of the 4 players in Group B, Busanan might have the lowest chance to advance based on a form, right? That leaves us with Ratchanok, Tai Zuying, and He Bingjiao. Now, based on this year's performance, Tai Zuying has been, she is always there. She's always there, right? She's always at least set in the semi-finals, and on a few occasions she managed to capture the title. For Hebing Jiao, in fact, this year has even been an even more remarkable year for her, right? I think she has also captured a few titles this year. So definitely in terms of form, I would say Hebing Jiao is at an even better form compared to Tai Zuying. Yep. Rachano, although she's not so senior, but she has been a seasoned qualifier and former, I think, the youngest world champion. So definitely she should be having a couple of tricks in her sleeves. But my pick would still be Tai Zuying and Hebing Jiao for women's singles. For men's singles, many argue that it is just a matter of looking for the finalists who will face Victor Axelsen. I don't say that I completely agree with it, but you just cannot rule out Victor Axelsen from being one of the top 4 qualifiers, right? So, I mean, his form has been simply superb. In fact, I think he have only lost twice this year. Once to Laksha Sen, and I think that was in German Open and at the beginning of the year, and the other was to Lo Ken Yu. I think recently in Denmark Open, if I am not wrong, right? So anyway, he would definitely be the man to beat, right? Just consistent, it's a definition of perfection in all aspects, in terms of attacking, in terms of defending, in terms of consistency. So it would be really, really difficult for someone to actually knock him out, right? At least I don't see any of them being in Group A, right? Now, who would be tagging along behind Victor Axelsen? That is a very interesting question to answer. Now, this year has been a kind year for Pranoy. I think he has been very, very consistent to be able to advance at least into the second and even the quarterfinals in as many tournaments. Kodai Naroka, the uprising, the up and coming young contender, strong contender from Japan, who will return every single shot from the opponent, right? But although he is lacking in terms of the attacking flair, but his defense, his retrievals is really amazing. Lu Guangzhou, I would say the last minute qualifier, right? Just pipped Li Zijia into the top 8. So also has been on a recently has been on a fine form, I guess, right? Especially the second half or the last quarter of the year, Lu Guangzhou has been showing some really good results. And in fact, if I remember correctly, during the Thomas Cup, Lu Guangzhou actually caused some trouble to Victor Axelsen when China clashed with Denmark. So, it'll be tough, but I don't think I will pick Lu Guangzhou. I think my pick would be Kodai Naroka and Victor Axelsen. Yep. For Group B, this group is trickier to identify who would be the qualifiers, right? So Zhou Tianchen has been always there, always in the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and he can basically beat anyone except Victor Axelsen. So that is a very interesting trend, and Jonathan Christie has also been showing some decent form this year, right? Again, one of the strong contenders, but he always seems to fail to live up to my expectation of him. So yeah, Anthony Sinisuka Ginting has not been playing well up until he captured the Singapore Open, right? And after that, I think slightly better, but still not his best year, I would say. The former world champion, Loh Can Yu, ups and downs, but my bet is on him to qualify. And if he really can do it, he would be one of the challengers to Victor Axelsen, because he's only one of the two players who have created an upset win over Victor Axelsen. So Loh Can Yu, I think I will be banking on you to make the semi or the finals to be more interesting. Alongside Loh Can Yu, difficult to choose. Well, probably I will still go for Jonathan Christie. Although if you look at my past videos, I've always put a high target for Jonathan Christie, simply because he's quite a balanced player in terms of height, in terms of physical strength, all-rounder. But yeah, perhaps this time he might be able to really show his true potential. Yeah, so Jonathan Christie and Loh Can Yu. For men's doubles, two very balanced groups of draw, I would say. For the Group A, the strong favorite would definitely be Fajar Alfian and Rian Ardianto, and that is why they are the first in the group. So it remains to be seen who will be tagging along Fajar Alfian and Rian Ardianto. Ong Yusi and Teo Yi seems to be rediscovering their fine form, I think, towards the end of the year. They have had a couple of strong showing in Australian Open, and not doing too badly in the European League as well. But in terms of their track record against the more established pair, they don't seem to be doing that well, right? Takuro Hoki and Yugo Kobayashi, 2021 has been a stellar year for them, but for 2022, it has not been that great of a year for them, but they still managed to qualify to the World Tour Finals. So interesting to see how deep they will advance in these World Tour Finals. Choi So-gyu and Kim Won-ho, I would say one of the late entries into the World Tour Finals, and they are an exciting pair to watch. But overall, my pick would still be Fajar Alfian, Rian Ardianto, and perhaps Takuro Hoki and Yugo Kobayashi. For Group B, this group is a very tightly contested group as well. We have the old timers, the evergreen Muhammad Hassan and Hendra Setiawan, alongside another pair which is growing stronger and stronger from China, Liu Yichen and Oh Xuan Yi. They will definitely be banking on Liu Yichen to dominate the front net play. And then we have Kim Astrup and Anders Rasmussen. They have not been at the top of their form for this year, so but never rule them out. They are always known to be able to slay some of the giants who are standing on their path. So, and Aaron Chia So-wee, our reigning world champion. So for this group, very difficult to pick. But if I were to perhaps make a choice, I think the Chinese pair might be able to advance, and I'm betting on the world champion from Malaysia as well to actually advance. So this would be my pick for the men's doubles. For the women's doubles, we have two groups. One is not as fiercely contested as the other, and I think you know which group I'm referring to. Okay, anyway, let's start off with the group A. We have it is a bit unfortunate for the hosts to have two of their pairs being grouped into group A in the same group. But then that's what happens when it is a random draw, right? So anyway, for this group A, my pick would be Jong Na Yun and Kim Hai Jung would be the clear favorite to advance from this group. Perhaps alongside maybe Jong Ko Fan and Ravinda. I think they are the more experienced doubles and more consistent as well, I would say, throughout the year. The Imsat sisters 2022 has been a great year for the young sisters, but I think their more senior compatriots should have the slight edge over them. Vivian Hu, Lim Chu Sian has been very diligent, very consistent in terms of participating in all the tournaments throughout the year, and their effort has to be appraised, has to be credited to them, and they would be here as a slight underdog. I'm not ruling them out, but if they could create one or two upsets, I think that would be a really remarkable conclusion for this Malaysian pair. For Group B, this is, I would say, the group of death. It's just too tight, right? Perhaps the slight underdog would be this Chinese pair would be the slight underdog. But the remaining three doubles are just too. It will be very, very interesting to see. My pick would still be Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan. I think they have been dominant this year. They have only lost, I think, 4 to 5 times, and they have captured so many titles. So it will be very, very difficult to rule them out. They are just too good, too consistent, very balanced, power play, power smashes, superb defending, great retrievals, impressive court coverage. They have everything, right? So our world champion should be the top favorite. The remaining spots would be a tightly contested battle between the Malaysian doubles, Perlitan and Tina Murali and the Indonesian new pair, who has been superb, who has been on red hot form. If you watch my previous video, I did commented and commended on their rise to the occasion, and I think once they have paired together, they have captured the SEA Games gold medal. They have captured a few more titles along the way, making into the finals, semi-finals. So I just do not know how they can click so well, although they have been just recently united. So, and it'll be really, really difficult to choose between these two. But I think I'm going for the Malaysian pair to advance. Right? It will be very little to choose from. And please do not rule out these doubles as well from China. right? Although they might be the slight underdog, but you never know, right? So especially coming from China, right, who is always known as the giant, right, of the badminton, world badminton. The last category, mixed doubles, we have Group A, Zheng Siwei, Hong Yachong should be the 200% favorite, I would say. I think we don't have to talk much about them anymore. For the second spot, it would be a contest between Goh Sun Huat and Jamie Lai Shi Won. And we have also an Indonesian pair. Kudos to Indonesia for being able to send, or rather for having representative in each of the category. I think alongside China, yes, yep. So alongside China, so kudos to Indonesia. And we also have the another strong pair from France, Tom Gikel and Delphine Delroux. My pick, based on their performance throughout the year, I think it will be the Chinese and the French pair to advance from Group A. From Group B, Group B is yeah. So again, the favorite will be the former world champion, Dechapol and Subsiri from the host, and alongside would probably be. This is very tricky. The natural choice would be the Chinese, but I'm not ruling out the second Thai pair as well. And Tan Kian Ming, Lai Peijing, I think they would be the underdog in Group B, right? So between the Chinese and the second Thai pair, I think I'll still go for Wang Yilu and Hang Dongping. Yeah, so that would be my prediction. So we shall see. All the best to all the players, and hope to see a very interesting and a very competitive. I think I don't need to say that the competitiveness level would there for sure. So if you disagree or if you agree with my predictions or and picks, so please comment, and thank you for watching.